Do you guys have any hobbies that you're trying to get into or like something you're really, really locked into right now? The reason why I'm asking is because fun fact about me, I like to paint. You know, I love trying new creative things. And last night I grabbed some oil pastels. This is what I did last night. They're oranges, they look yummy. It's a little bit messy, but I tried. That's all that counts. That's all that matters. Whatever, girl, I'm not even gonna try this anymore. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're gonna be diving into a bit of a messy topic, but one that I think is incredibly interesting and one that I have been dying to get my hands on. We're gonna be talking about Gen Z's obsession with plastic surgery, lip filler, Botox, all of that stuff, facial balancing, you name it. This topic has so many little facets to it that are like, I feel like some people don't highlight. Some people will be like, no, it's fine. Everyone should mind their business. And then I hear people saying, no, it's awful. We need to get rid of it. I think there's so much conversation around both. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be highlighting the good, bad, and the in-between. Same, everyone looks the same face trend where you see so much content pumped out of people who look similar or have Instagram face. And it may warp your perception on how you think you should look. And so I want to kind of talk about all these things really and just, have a little deep dive with you guys this Friday. So before you hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. And real quickly, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video. So you guys, I have recently found my lazy girl skincare hack of the summer. I finally bought an LED face mask. I've been really curious about them because so many people I know own them and love them because it's changed their skin, but I didn't know where to start or if they're even worth it. So I did some digging and I found this one, which is the Dreamy Corona. And I wanted to share with you guys everything that I've learned because it's actually really, really interesting. It's an at-home LED facial spa that you can actually stick with and see real results. So the biggest question of it all, does it actually work? Yes, it does. There have been many different studies discussing LED light therapy, and clinical tests have shown different wavelengths and how they actually impact your skin. Different colors will get into different layers of skin to support skin cells differently. For example, a lot of you guys know about red light therapy. This Dreamy mask has it. Red is for fine lines and rejuvenation. Blue is for calming acne-prone skin. Green helps target redness. Yellow for dullness. And then there's a combination mode that kind of does a little bit of everything. You're able to use this little mini controller so you can cycle through whichever one feels relevant to you. You can also switch it on the actual mask itself. Now, real quickly, I have to show you guys in the dark of my bedroom so you can see how bright this thing is. Like, all the LED lights are truly covering your face. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this is also FDA cleared and SGS tested for effectiveness and safety that you can trust, which is very important to me. For me personally, I've been really locked into the red light therapy, and I also really, really love blue. The blue can be really calming, especially when I have certain breakouts. I know I make jokes about developing more wrinkles. I'm starting to develop them. So I kind of bounce between red light therapy and blue light, and I love it. Now, one of the most unique features to make sure that you're consistent with this treatment is how comfortable and easy to wear it is. First of all, the mask is very, very soft and bendable, and this one is wireless. It comes with 2 additional batteries, so I can start working, I can edit videos, I can clean up my apartment, I can do everything while simultaneously getting my treatment done. The cordless battery has up to 90 minutes of use, and also it has a spare battery, so if you're someone like me who's forgetful and forgets to charge one, you have another backup one. So I can't speak for any major long-term results. I have only seen personally good results with it. One more thing I do have to mention with this mask is it has a 2-year warranty and a 30-day return policy. So if you do not like it, that is perfectly fine. So if you guys are interested in getting into the LED light therapy and adding it into your skincare routine, go to the link in the description below and use the code Isabella to get $90 off of your mask today. Also, they do have a mid-year sale going right now, so definitely don't miss that. Thank you so much to Dreamy for partnering with me on today's video and adding some glow to my skin. And now let's get into it. Raise of hands. Anyone had a moment in their life where they're like, God, maybe I should get this done to myself in order for me to look good. Maybe I should get this. Maybe I should get filler. Maybe Botox. Maybe, right? Now, again, this is no judgment here. I am not trying to reproach this in a way of shame on you. No, diva. I think when I was like 18 years old, I sat down with my notebook and I wrote down a list of procedures I would get done so I would finally be pretty. And it was awful. It was really sad. And I had all these things. And as I got older, that list kind of dwindled down because I worked on my self-confidence. And now at 26 years old, I feel very, very comfortable with myself. Some people are treating plastic surgery as a big necessity and requirement now. Like, you essentially cannot live your life without getting work done, otherwise you don't look good enough. And it's almost becoming this thing where looking like the everyday person is not good enough. And that can be really scary and can lead to a lot of weird trends and so much more. So first of all, I want to talk about what are we seeing right now with the trends of plastic surgery, right? I know we saw the trend of the buccal fat, where it's like the removal of your fat right here on your face. I've seen Botox. Lip filler was like one of the biggest things. things. When Kylie Jenner released her lip kits and people are like, oh my God, I can have lips like Kylie's, it was lip filler. Okay, that's what it was. All right, there's nothing else about that. And as time has gone on and as social media has been so prominent in all of our lives, we've noticed people get younger and younger that want to get procedures done. For example, I remember when I was younger, it was very common to see people at like 18, 19 years old in college when I was going, where people would be getting filler, and that was a normal thing. There would be really cheap filler. There would be people who would be offered deals and discounts, and so there'd be lots of the girlies who get like a little something. If I can get half a syringe or a full syringe, but I'm gonna finally have the lips I want and then I'll feel pretty. And then one thing led to another, and then it absolutely exploded. And so we see that this is not just stopping at people using it for age prevention. Now people are using it to look a certain way, but then it ends up being kind of counterproductive. So let's talk about Instagram face and fear of aging to kind of really kick this all off. I know it's been a very prominent thing for a long time of people being scared to age. Like that was something I always remember reading about when I was younger, is pretty much women specifically were like targeted to, you can't age, you can't get older. If you have wrinkles or like you're expired, you're too old, dye your hair if it gets gray. That's not okay. Anything that is out of place, anything is wrong. It's not up to you, it's up to what society deems. And that's where it became a big problem, because it wasn't a matter of if someone wanted to look a certain way. It was more of, well, I have to do this because if I don't, I'm not aging gracefully or I'm not taking care of myself. And so plastic surgery and getting work done wasn't just a preventative thing. It was to make sure that you aged well, which is awful because we shouldn't have to earn the concept of aging. You're aging. That shouldn't be, this shouldn't be a thought in our heads, right? Then as we got to younger people and younger ages, we noticed people who wanted to start altering their appearances and then make themselves look prettier. Because with the age of social media and even down to like the beauty community back in like 2017, when we saw a lot of big pop off with major YouTubers, we saw people who would get work done and transform their faces to look like completely different from, before years ago when they had smaller lips and less strong, prominent cheekbones. So now we have people who are like, God, I want to look like that. And so when younger and younger demographics get onto social media and see people who have access to maybe Photoshop, Facetune, perfect faces, immediately your brain goes to, well, how can I do that? And so it starts off with skincare. But as we know, skincare and cosmetics can only go so far, right? Cosmetics cannot 100% cover up texture on your skin, or if you have hollowness on your under eyes like I do, you can only do so much, which then leads to the overly accessible things like lip filler, Botox, and so much more, which then in turn leads to the, wow, I'm opening myself up to the world of plastic surgery. So then we have people who are 24 years old that are getting facelifts and people who are getting tons and tons of work done, which is ending up aging them more than what they actually look like right now. And I want to highlight some examples of this that I find to be a little bit crazy. Now, I want to make a huge disclaimer before we react to any of this content. My goal with my reactions and this video in itself is not to be harmful, to judge anyone, or send any hate towards anyone. Don't ever be coming to my page doing that bullshit or bothering someone else. That's never what I want. I'm trying to have an open discussion about the pros and cons of things like that, but we're kind of leaning into the negatives right now to highlight them because that's the leading discussion here in this aspect of the video. So remember, do not be doing anything messy, but I want to quickly show you guys a video of somebody doing at-home Botox, and this is kind of a light level. If you guys haven't seen, I made a video talking about at-home Botox. I've even highlighted the alleged lip filler bandit who was allegedly not qualified to give lip filler, but was giving lip filler. We've literally caught people doing DIY beauty that didn't start with face mask and dyeing your hair. It extended to lip injections and Botox. So let me show you guys an example of Botox.
We are going to do our own Botox. So right here is Nobata, and when you get it, it looks like it is empty, but it has like little crystals here down at the bottom. We are going to reconstitute it with some saline. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, it does come with the saline. We're just going to move it around a little just to mix everything up. I'm going to use 2 different needles. This little one I am going to use on my forehead, do a little brow lift and my crow's feet. This other needle I'm going to use in my masseters and my 11s. Let me go wash my makeup off and I'll be back. We are all marked up. I am going to start on my masseters.
Sorry, y'all. I react really funky when I see people doing like weird shit to their bodies like this, like with the needle. It's just, I get nauseous with the idea of like poking yourself. Sorry.
Going to do the 11s right here, and I'm just going to pinch the skin and go straight in with the needle and do 4 units.
We're going to pause that video there because I don't think we need to see any more to kind of get the vibe of what's going on. I want to highlight the idea of filler and Botox. Now, lots of people like to go and get filler and Botox, which is real, valid, right? I've thought about getting it done myself, but some people get so desperate to getting it done that they will go to the extent of doing DIY beauty, which is where I saw the trend of the hyaluron pen for lip filler, DIY lip filler, Botox like this, where people are buying products from unknown sites and injecting it into their face. Now, this is incredibly dangerous because we're seeing desperation circulate into this trend where it's not just about like, oh, let me go to a professional and get it done, even if it may not be necessary or it could be counterproductive to your aesthetics and trying to make yourself appear to be younger or prettier. It's now getting to a point where people are so desperate for the looks that they're willing to put themselves in potential danger, because botulism, that's no joke, y'all. Do you want half your face like drooping? Absolutely. I would never, ever be touching this stuff with a 10-foot pole, but people are doing that. So this is another example of it starts small, and we are noticing this massive growth of people are so needing to look a certain way that they will do anything to get it, whether it's buying it from a sketchy website or paying a really, really cheap price to have somebody else do it. Now, I will say, and want to make this incredibly clear, I have a lot of people that watch me and follow me who get this kind of work done, who are also those who are injectors, who are certified and can do this kind of work. Make this very known that I am in no way trying to diss on you, but I do want to talk about how there's some people who are wanting to get so much work done that they are ending up be counterproductive. So I'm going to use Love Island as an example for this. If you guys do or don't remember, in the last season of Love Island US, if you do or don't watch, okay, I'll give you an idea. Last season of Love Island USA and the UK, I remember when they dropped the announcement of the cast and the comment sections were flooded making fun of the young woman, okay? I saw some of them ranging from 20 years old to 22 years old, etc. Younger than me or my age. But that was something that a lot of people noticed. And to me, as I was looking at that, it was actually highlighting how prominent it is to get work done. And sometimes the amount of work you get done is doing the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. And you don't keep and preserve your age and enhance what you look like or make yourself look better. You end up aging yourself or making yourself look worse in the long run because you're filling your face up too much. You're not letting yourself age into your face, etc. And this is the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to the filler conversation and plastic surgery in general is many people are not allowing themselves to age into their adult faces, which then can actually be counterproductive because the second you hit my age and all of a sudden you technically would fit into your face a little bit more. So that's another thing I see with this trend is some people are wanting to quickly fix and be perfect, that they end up doing more damage in the long run. Now, I want to get into the deeper, scarier conversations, which are going under the knife, the really toxic, dropping thousands of dollars getting work done, and it's probably severely unnecessary and is genuinely like a waste of money. That is subjective in my opinion, but let's go into the 24-year-old who got a facelift. Yes, you heard that right, a facelift.
So a lot of you guys wanted to know why I got a facelift so young. So I'm going to explain to you guys the backstory. So last year I traveled to Korea and I got bone shaving, which is basically when they shave down your bone and your face kind of has like a smaller like beeline shape. It's a really common surgery in Korea, not so much like in the States. So when I got the surgery, I didn't know that my skin might not snap back into place. And after talking to people who got the surgery done, they told me that this is really common. So that's basically what happened to me. I had a lot of loose skin like on my like nasal folds and on my neck. And the reason that I decided to come to Turkey is because I wanted a brow lift just because for aesthetic reasons. And I like the way that they do mid facelift. So I only got a mid facelift. They only lifted this part of my face, it wasn't a complete facelift. I still have the folds, like the skin that was kind of like dripping from my jaw shaving, but I feel like the neck can be addressed anywhere. I feel like it's an easy procedure to get done, but when you're looking at like your eyes and your like top of your face, you really want to make sure that you go to someone that does a style that you like. So that's why I decided to come to Turkey. And when you get surgery, this happens a lot. People have to get multiple surgeries, or things go wrong, or you necessarily don't get what you like. So it's so important to do your research.
Okay, sorry, the video, it cut off. It looks like it cut off for her as well. So I do believe that there is nuance to people will thoroughly enjoy getting work done because that's their goal and that's what they want to look like. topic. But at the same time, I don't want to discredit the fact that there's some people who are getting it done because they have deep rooted insecurities and they have severe levels of dysmorphia when it comes to how they view themselves. And I'm only also speaking from experience because there are many young people who will look at themselves and think that they are genuinely ugly and something is wrong with them when that's not the case. I'm telling you right now, younger me, I'll rattle it off. I have zero shame on this, okay? Younger me, I remember I wanted a BBL. Girl, I'm sorry. Giggle at me all you, it's fine. You can laugh at me. Like dead ass, it's okay. I remember I was like, I want a BBL, I want a fat ass. Now mind you, I got a little ass on me now and that's because I grew into it, okay? No, sorry. I remember I wanted to get some lipo to tone up my stomach. I remember I wanted to get filler done. I wanted to do all the facial balancing. I remember I wanted to do something with my teeth. I didn't 100% know what that was, but I wanted to quote perfect them, which is fucking crazy. Oh, my titties. Oh my God, I forgot about it. I remember thinking I wanted to get them done. The main list was my thing of I wanted to get done, and I was genuinely researching all the stuff, like where to get it done and the price of it. One of the biggest reasons why I wanted to talk about my experience and my perspective on my body from 17, 18 years old to now is simply because I was heavily influenced by the algorithms, trends around bodies, and so much more. And I've changed my mind significantly. And I feel like I have a clear perspective, not only because I worked on self-love, but additionally, I grew into my face and also allowed myself to not be influenced by an algorithm. And because currently in the climate we're in, a lot of plastic surgery is severely downplayed and it's incredibly accessible. When we have very, very young people talking about getting work done and treating a BBL like ordering off of DoorDash, that's very alarming. And even when we see things like lip filler and work being so accessible with very unqualified hands, it alarms me that some people who have thought the exact same way that I have will jump into doing something that they may not be able to reverse in the future. And please, I cannot stress this enough. This video is not to hate on work done as I do want things as well. I'm encouraging people to just take a step back, do their research, and be incredibly cautious by not getting heavily influenced by an algorithm, and just think about this a little bit longer. That is not a far-fetched thing to say that there are lots of young people who are actively doing this, because when we see celebrities who look perfectly photoshopped and amazing, when we see certain influencers, which again, I'm not shitting on any of these people, who look perfect and have their work on their own, right? Some people who are younger go, shit, maybe I do need that. Maybe I do need to look better. And then things like darkness in your under eyes, or the way your face is structured, or the way that your skin sits, suddenly that's wrong and not good enough. And so as we see this, we notice that people younger are going to get work done where they want to get a boob job fast. They want to go and fly cross country to get more plastic surgery done. They want to get their eyes done. They want to get everything done. And even the conversations around BBLs leading into this, my God, if you guys remember, there was like maybe the past 2-3 years were heavy of people like, I want to go to Dr. Miami, get my ass done. And lots of people wanted to get, I knew a lot of people who had BBLs. I didn't know that. I was like, what? I'm telling you right now, lots of people get stuff done. Now, if you guys don't know, BBLs are incredibly dangerous. Like that's a really, really dangerous procedure to get done, but people didn't give a shit. So that is a crazy thing to me that so many people are so focused on becoming perfect. But I also want to point out that a lot of it does not actually lead to perfection, because like the original creator said, lots of people need revision surgeries and extra stuff done to make themselves look in the way that they want to, which leads me into my next topic, how this actually can be incredibly dark and dangerous for you and become something that is an addiction, weirdly. An addiction in a positive or a negative way for you in your head. Some people want to get lots and lots of surgeons. Like there are some stories online that you can look up where people have got tons and tons of stories. They got a rhinoplasty that, oh shit, that's also what I want to get. I in my nose for a bit. I don't know why. I think my nose is cute now, but like, see how insane I was? I was genuinely nutso thinking about all this shit. Sorry, anyways. People really were like, oh my God, I've got tons of different like surgeries on my nose. I've got, I had to get revision here. I need to do this, or I wanted lipo. Like they kept trying to build a bitch. That's literally what they were trying to do. They were trying to build themselves into something that they couldn't even fathom. And then when they did like one surgeon's procedure, they had to correct it. And then they're like, well, maybe I could fine tune it more. And it got to such an obsessive thing where even some of the most beautiful people with plastic surgery were just still thinking that it wasn't good enough. And that is an obsession that people would get, where they would spend thousands of dollars chasing a dream and an idea that didn't exist, because at the end of the day, it would never actually satisfy them. There are people that are incredibly young, like for example, this individual. I'm not saying she thinks this way, but people who are 24 or 20, something like that, are chasing after a dream that's never going to happen because they're comparing themselves to a Photoshop photo that is still posed and perfected. And lots of those people don't even look like that on the regular basis. I will try and find the clips, but I remember watching people share share their horror stories with their plastic surgery and how they severely regret it. They regret getting this stuff done because they're like, wow, I fucked up my body. Like I was so cute before. What did I do?
Please tell me your BBL experience.
Yeah, I mean, we have a
100%.
story. One of the surgeries we went to for the second one in Turkey.
Oh my
Me and
days.
Mandy, like, we literally thought we were dying.
Yeah, really.
Like, we literally, I feel like we almost died. We were bleeding excessively in the hotel room in Turkey.
But when I woke up, Anna, I was on a hospital bed covered in blood.
Mandy was like this on the hospital bed.
Yeah. The whole bed was blood.
Oh my God.
And I was vomiting at the same time.
Nah.
And at the same time, I had a cataract. So it's like, it's attached to your bladder or whatever. And then you basically I couldn't pass urine. I was like pissing in a bucket, vomiting and bleeding for like 3 days. And when we went to the hotel,
We were going to pass out, both of us. We were both like trying to help each other.
Thank God you were both there.
We both, yeah, it was really, really scary.
Oh my God.
And my mum had no idea because we lied to her.
because she would never have let us.
Really?
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Now, this actually leads me into my next problem with some people focus on the positives of plastic surgery over the potential negatives. And that means they're focused on cheap, affordable, but they forget the potential things that could actually go wrong with this. I don't think there's enough conversation and people that are giving clear, honest pros and cons of what can truly happen when you go under the knife. For example, I'm going to play this video that shocked me. I didn't even know this was real.
Name one thing in your industry or profession that the general public would be shocked to know about.
Did you know someone can open up a cosmetic clinic, do your cosmetic surgery, and never be a certified surgeon? That is right. Your surgeon could be just someone who did medical school for 4 years. That's basically general ed for doctors. Then you can do a year of internship where, again, you're like the little lackey, you're running around the hospital doing everything. You don't have those true responsibilities. And then you can have the big enough gonads to go and open up your own clinic and do your own surgeries because nobody is watching, nobody is checking. Isn't that scary?
So that I did not know was a possibility. And that led me into falling down the rabbit hole of botched surgeries and dangerous surgeons, or fake surgeons for that matter. Just like when we talked about the people who are doing lip filler and Botox illegally, that also will extend into things like veneer techs, which we also covered on this channel, or people who will go as far as do your plastic surgery. Now, if you're gonna get your body done, you have got to go the quote hard way, which means certifications, and it's probably gonna be expensive. This is the last time where you wanna cheap out on this by any means. And by the way, just because something expensive doesn't 100% mean that it's going to be perfect, but that does not, again, do not cheap out on it. But some people, because they have no idea, will go and find a clinic that looks really good, that has great reviews, and then in return realize that it actually is awful and an awful experience at that, where the surgeon is not exactly skilled and has hurt them, where the surgeon does not have the qualifications that they need. But again, nobody, like the general public, does not know this, right? Where people will spend so much money and realize that they don't look like themselves and they don't feel good in their bodies anymore, or worse than they did before. And some people have even passed away from these surgeries because they are so incredibly unsafe. And some people will even go as far as trying to find the cheapest areas possible because they so badly want to look a certain way. And I'm here to tell y'all right now, this is dangerous. You could permanently hurt yourself. So if you're wanting to get stuff done, you absolutely need to make sure that you are completely safe. But what we noticed with some Gen Zers is some of them are more focused on getting the result and are more focused on wanting to get it done and look better, that they may accidentally cut corners whether they know it or not, simply because maybe they're naive, or maybe, and again, I'm a Gen Z-er girl, this would have happened to me too. Thankfully, I didn't have money for it. It is very easy for someone to fall for it. So when we have this plethora of people talking about how easy it is to have access to and how it isn't hard and you save up or go here because it's cheaper, and you have one person talk about it, another individual will book quickly, but that could be actually incredibly harmful for them. And some people who are incredibly young getting involved with plastic surgery don't realize how many of those that they're watching online have filters, have professional makeup artists, have had crazy expensive surgeons, and ones that are really skilled that are not going to be skilled like the other one they're going to, for example. They could also be having their photos photoshopped so they don't even look like their own photos, right? I mean, take for example, have you ever seen unedited red carpet photos, y'all? They do not always look that good. Okay, some people look banging, some people also have bad days. I'm going to tell you right now, I have looked busted and crusty as hell before, okay? Like, again, I'm going to make this clear. I don't always look like my Instagram photos either. Sometimes I look like straight ass. You're falling for an image that is perfectly curated. It's not real. So therefore, you are not going to look like that as well. So people go in with very unrealistic expectations. So between the cost, between the potential botched surgeries, between the need to keep refining the botched surgeries, to then feeling like they don't look good as themselves, themselves. It gets to be a point where people are ending up looking awful and harming themselves more. Another thing I want to talk about is like what I highlighted earlier is the Instagram face and everyone looking the same. I would like to talk about how social media has thoroughly impacted Gen Z's need for plastic surgery and getting work done. There are social media accounts that will post up people or their comedy pages, right? You can go take a gander through that, or anyone who goes viral. I have seen so many times where someone has gone viral for not looking, quote, how somebody should. That's a really fucked up thing to say, but that is the only way that I can verbalize it so you can understand. Unless you look conventionally attractive or you're doing something that isn't like conventionally attractive, you can get made fun of bad for it. And I will see comments flooded of mocking people, making fun of how they look, just degrading them, tearing them down. I can't even imagine. I mean, I've been made fun of real bad. Okay, I've been on the internet for almost 10 plus years. The average everyday person will give a shit. You cannot expect any normal person to not have that wear down on them. So when we see the elevation of people who look a certain way, and then we see the degradation and the mistreatment that people who don't look a certain way experience, how are we surprised, right? Because people will get praised and awed and wooed for looking a certain way. And the second thing you don't, you're not treated exactly the same, right? You're not treated nicely. You will get made fun of and mocked. And then people will talk about, oh, telling someone to get a nose job. So then you make fun of people for getting plastic surgery done, but yet you make fun of people who don't have plastic surgery done. You see, no one can win here. So essentially, if somebody doesn't fit a specific vibe, they are automatically put as the butt of the joke. So no wonder people are getting work done. No wonder Gen Z is so hyper aware of how they look and going, God, if I don't look a certain way, maybe I should get it done. And no wonder then they're wanting to make certain decisions at a very, very young age instead of letting themselves age into their face. They're wanting so badly to get work done. And I'm speaking from personal experience as well. No wonder this is so prominent. No wonder this is an obsession. But then on the other side, it's also so fucked up that I'm seeing people be like, everyone looks that fucking same. No shit, because the internet can be so mean. The internet can be so vile and will not let you up, all because you have the audacity to look human. That is not okay. And I want to point something out here too, just connected to this conversation. I want you to think about this next time you go to the beach, you go to a grocery store, anything. I want you to look around at people. Purposely, consciously look around at people. Do any of them look like the Instagram people you see? Do any of them constantly look perfect? The answer is going to be no. I'm telling you right now, every single time you may see some hot people outside. Yeah, of course. But in regard, do you see lots of unique beauty, unique people? Absolutely. That is what the real world looks like. So if you are somebody who's going back and forth and like going through and feeling that pressure of, oh, I don't look like this, or I don't look like this, that is not something you need to focus on right now. Okay. What I think people need to focus on more is how they feel about themselves and then make decisions. And that's leading into the next topic of this video is I think Gen Z, I think my generation has not been able to grasp on the fact that we need to focus and spend money on self-love and therapy over getting plastic surgery done. Okay. And I want to point this out here as someone who absolutely has something that I do want to get done 100%. I'm saving up for it right now, but I'm telling you the focus needs to 100% be on self-love. It just needs to be on self-love. But so many people don't focus on that because that takes longer. Surgery and filler can be quite instant. That's an instant gratification. Sitting in your own mind and your thoughts and focusing on loving yourself can take a very long time. And I'm telling you, it is a bumpy, shitty ass ride in a Honda Odyssey with a wheel falling off. Okay, it's not fun. Don't believe that gap has been filled with a lot of people who are wanting to get work done. Now, again, I want to make this incredibly clear. That doesn't mean that people who get work done don't love themselves, but I think the immediate response to feeling bad about yourself to get it done or get work done always is like jumping through, not doing some of the middleman stuff before you actually get work done. Again, this is individual, right? I'm not in anyone's head. I cannot tell you what to do or how you're going to do things or how you feel about yourself. But I do see that some people have deep-rooted insecurities, may not actually sit with it and try to work on loving yourself more. Because I'm telling you right now, when I had this whole idea of, oh, I fucking hate my nose, blah, 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 I sat with it and focused it. Now I actually love my nose. Now I'm like, oh, well, that looks like my dad's. You know what I mean? Or my lips, I was like, dang, like, I don't know if I like my mouth shape. And then after a bit, I was like, oh, it's my dad's, right? Or how my eyes are. I'm like, oh, that's my mom. You know, it's those kinds of things. Or like, oh, this is me. But for the longest time, I hated it because I didn't do the work. And I know it's also 10 times harder. And I truly have so much empathy for people who are struggling with this stuff because it doesn't help when social media heavily rewards people for looking a certain way and then penalizes people for existing as normal human beings. It is an incredibly unfortunate thing. So I'm not shocked. Genuinely, I'm not shocked that this is a problem. I'm not shocked that people are so quick to jump and fixing things about themselves because some people can be awful and mean to you if you don't. Now I want to finish up this video more with talking about the positives of getting work done, right? Botox, if things are done well, could actually look amazing on you. Having filler could actually do some really, really great work. Like I've seen amazing facial balancing done that looks amazing on people. I've seen people who have gotten it done and it like genuinely has transformed their face. Master Botox, for example, I have absolutely thought about getting that done because I grind the shit out of my teeth. But again, I may not even need it. Who knows? So those are some things that could be really beneficial. I know people have gotten Botox done for migraines. Another thing as well is gender affirming care. This is a very important topic, is genuinely, it can absolutely help your mental health by having gender affirming care and doing things that make yourself feel more exactly like the gender that you identify as. End of story. Gender affirming care saves lives, and gender affirming care also is a very wide spectrum. So please don't consider that as just plastic surgery, but that is also something I want to highlight, is this is also something that could genuinely change people's lives in a very positive way. Or also in general, some people may really love themselves but have a small thing that they want to tweak. For example, I'm going to be very honest with you. I genetically have, if I look down, my lighting does really good work for me. I'm being so honest with you. But in a lot of photos, I have indented eyes right here. Certain things, the way my bone structure is, my eyes have hollows in them. Am I 100% saving up money to look into getting a lower blepharoplasty? Absolutely. 100%. Am I wanting to make sure that I take the time, I do different consultations, and I thoroughly make sure I'm prepared for that decision? Absolutely. Do I literally think that that's like the one thing that I've always wanted to change that's never adjusted, no makeup, nothing can fix it, but I truly think that would make me happy and look not tired all the time? Absolutely, right? So I'm not dogging on this stuff in general. I truly think that getting some work done can make you feel great. And I think everyone deserves to feel good in their lives. There are some toxic aspects of the industry. There are dangerous parts of it as well. There are some people that have been like, dude, that nose job, I swear I feel so confident. I feel incredible with myself. Fuck yeah, right? I love that kind of stuff. There are some people who, again, have gotten the work done. They're like, I've never felt better in my entire life. Like, this is it for me. And they have a great relationship with themselves and they feel good. And that was the thing that changed their life and made them feel great. Moral of the story, I do want to say that there are lots of pros and cons to all things. Do I think that we have an aspect of this generation that's super focused on it and maybe could be overly focused on it in a way that can be too much? Yes. Do I think that there's also predatory industries and predatory people and things that could actually do harm to you even if you have good intentions behind it? Yes. Do I think that it's always negative and awful and people should feel shamed for getting work done or getting a boob job or getting a rhino? Absolutely not. What I want to thoroughly encourage you with this video is to, one, do the inner work, okay? Focus on yourself, because I'm telling you right now, that is a lifelong skill, learning to love yourself and being really confident in you. Two, thoroughly research if you're going to get stuff done. I don't even give a shit if it's something as small as a lip flip, okay? If you're wanting to get something done, check. Not every offer or discount or deal or lady that's going to do it for you for free or whatever, it doesn't always mean it's better. And three, dig into other people's stories. Look into some of the horror stories. Look into the pros and cons, because you should be fully understanding what's going on and what's going to happen to your body. And overall, at the end of the day, you want to be happy with you. And you know what? If getting the damn rhinoplasty is what it is, then mama, go for it, right? Don't think that you have to alter and change every aspect of you because somebody online says it, or because it is a trend to have your face look a certain way or your body look a certain way. Remember, don't follow plastic surgery trends. Follow something that makes you feel happy. Because remember, BBLs were really popping off when we saw a lot of celebrities getting their asses done. Now all of a sudden, their asses are looking real small. Everyone's going from curvy to getting real skinny, okay? Body types and getting your body done should not be followed by a trend. You should do what makes you feel good and what looks best on you. So if you're someone who, I don't want to shave, or I do want to shave, girl, who gives a fuck? Do whatever you want to do, okay? If you're like, man, this is the thing would make me feel great, do it, okay? But please be incredibly safe and cautious. Focus on self-love, because I do think that getting plastic surgery and work done can coincide with self-love, but just don't neglect that, right? Don't neglect taking care of yourself mentally and physically, and that way that has nothing to do with going to a med spa or getting plastic surgery done. But at the end of the day, I think it's very interesting that we're noticing this uptick in focus, but I just hope to encourage people to do what's best for them and, feel confident in themselves in whatever way that looks like for them. So that was it for today's video with my deep dive into the plastic surgery world. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you guys think, right? Have you guys ever had work done? Is there something you're interested in? Like what, just, drop your thoughts down below, because I think this is a general good topic. Thank you so much to the sponsor of today's video. Don't forget to check them out. The link in the description below and pin comment. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. I love you all. And I will see you guys next week. Okay? Bye.